Jansen Harris here with the final play on the Just Good Network. This segment is sponsored by the UK Falcons. Go follow them on Twitter and Instagram. You'll see content out of UK. You'll see content out of me with sports videos. You'll see great graphics and up-to-the-day news on the Atlanta Falcons. Big Sunday for the Falcons, winning 43-6 over the Raiders. I look at it as a little bit of an upset. We know how good the Raiders are this year. We've seen how Derek Carr was playing. He was a pretty good quarterback. I would say almost top 10-like quarterback. Was keeping his turnovers down. Was throwing a lot of touchdown passes. He was pretty good, but not today. They fall to 6-5, and I think they did this last year right when they're about to hit their stride, and they always play well against Kansas City. Only team to beat Kansas City. They lose to the Falcons, who were struggling at a disappointing 3-7. But the Falcons, they stepped up. They got the win. They are 4-7 in blowout fashion at home. I tell people this all the time. No matter what the Falcons teams are looking like, they are always dangerous at home. So never forget that. Let's start off with the kicking game. Young Ho Koo, 5 for 5, had a pretty good game. 54 was the long on the field goal, 19 points total. I can't say enough about this guy. He's been pretty consistent. Young Ho Koo, the thing about him that makes him great is just each and every game he's kicking the ball well. No out-of-bounds kicks. He does his job. His outside kicks aren't that bad as well, too. I think he's done enough where he can make a Pro Bowl. Moving on to the defense, there was a lot of guys on this defensive side of the ball that I got to give a shout-out to. But first, let's talk about the team defense. They didn't allow any touchdowns today. When the hell do you see the Falcons defense do that? The Falcons were playing out their dang minds. They thought they were the Steelers today. They thought, well, I can't say it anymore, but the Colts before, they thought they were one of the best defenses in the league, the Ravens. That's how they looked. Nobody has the Falcons defense on their fantasy team, but just in case you did and you happen to start them, great damn job, because the Falcons only allowed 203 passing yards, which that never happens. They're usually towards the bottom of the league in that. So shout out to Denard. He played well. A.J. Terrell, Kendall Sheffield, Keanu O'Neal, those guys back there, Isaiah Oliver, Ricardo Allen, like usual. These guys played well. They covered well. They were physical, and they dominated the football game. Defensive line, we can't say enough about them. 5 sacks, 4 fumble recoveries. Are you kidding me? These guys on this defensive line dominated today. We seen great play out of Jacobs. Mariner, 3 tackles. He had a sack. Steven Means, he got back there. He got some pressure. John Kamitsky, he got his first sack. Charles Harris was bringing the pressure. It was a sum of guys getting it done. Marlon Davidson, these guys played well. Dante Fowler Jr. even had a couple pretty good pass rushes. He usually plays good in the running game, but you got a guy who's still kind of a disappointment. But overall, this team played well. This team played well on the defensive side of the ball, on that defensive line. Jalen Hawkins, Tyler Davidson, just wanted to name everybody who was out there doing their thing. Let's talk about the linebacking core. They always play well. Bofoye, Oluwakan, he's been having a Pro Bowl-like season. He's a consistent type of player. He played well. Deion Jones obviously getting the pick 6. He's known to make big-time plays, and he did that. Linebacking core played out their lights. Defensive line played out their lights. Cornerbacks, safeties played out their minds. A couple more stats. Only allowing 40 rushing yards to the 7th-ranked rush defense, the 7th-ranked rushing team. That's pretty good. Joshua Jacobs, he was lost out there. That's why he only got 7 carries. I thought they should have probably ran him more, but they were playing from behind. 7 carries, 27 yards. I think the Falcons did a pretty good job. Nobody else really got touches for them. They were pretty good on that side of the football. 3 for 12 on 3rd down. You can't discredit them on that. Plus 4 in the turnover ratio. So the Falcons, lights out. Great game. Let's turn to the offensive side of the ball. Julio Jones was out, so that affected some things. The Falcons did struggle in the red zone, but they get a pass because I love the play calling. There was a key 3rd and 7 run by Ito Smith for a touchdown. I thought that was a smart play call. I thought it got the Raiders off balance, so I liked it. Ito Smith, pretty good game. 12 carries, 65 yards, 5.4 yards a carry, a touchdown, also 4 catches, 10 yards. So he was dynamic today. Not a lot of yards through the air, but he still was dynamic. Brian Hill, 13 carries, 55 yards, 4.2 yards a carry. These two guys combined, give him their flowers, give them their praise today. They did a pretty good job keeping the Raiders off balance. Matt Ryan, he was all right. It wasn't his best game, but he's had better games than they lost. At the end of the day, they won. 22 of 39, a buck 85, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Calvin Ridley had a touchdown score, 6 catches, 50 yards. Hayden Hurst, 4 catches. He played okay. I would like to see more production out of him in the passing game. We've seen 5 different receivers for the Falcons catch at least a pass. Powell hasn't really been that good this year at all, but he caught a touchdown pass. So we can't fault them for that. Now for the Falcons. On 3rd down, I thought they were okay. 9 for 19 on 3rd down. Only allowed 1 sack. Shout to the offensive line for only allowing 1 sack. They dominated the time possession as well. Matt Ryan didn't fumble the football today, so we're going to give them their credit on that. Overall, Falcons did what they had to do on offense. We'd love to see them score more touchdowns, but their best player on offense was out anyways. They ran 72 plays, got 23 first downs. Love what they were doing. Let's talk a little bit about Raheem Morris. They're 4-2 under him. He talked about Jacob, how he made plays. He wanted to focus on the running game, and he did that with Hill and Ito. They played well. He doesn't really take a lot of praise. Talks about other guys. He gives them the truth. He didn't like how they played against the Saints, but they came in today. They were on fire. They had a chip on their shoulder. They knew what they had to do. Raheem Morris is the type of guy who tells it how it is from what he's saying and stuff like that. They only had 6 penalties compared to 11 from the Raiders. Raiders in recent weeks have been a highly penalized team, so they need to correct those mistakes. But I love what I was hearing out of Raheem Morris. Just basically a mentality that they want to focus on the next game. They don't want to take this and let it get to their head. And, hey, praise this win. Now looking ahead, they have the Saints, who right now I believe are the first team in first place in the NFC. They have home field advantage. They're without Drew Brees. I do not believe they're better without Drew Brees, even though some people want to say that. Just 2 weeks ago, they beat the Falcons. I think they'll beat the Falcons again. But the Falcons, hopefully, if they play defense like they did today, maybe they have a chance for the upset. But they need to be consistent. They need to play with aggression. They need to win up-front battles if they want to compete with a team like the Saints. They need to blitz Taysom Hill. Let's see if Hill can throw the ball down the field consistently. They need to find ways to stop and trap Alvin Kamara. Maybe put a guy on him or even try double-teaming him in the passing game. Michael Thomas and his slants, his intermediate routes, what are they going to do to stop that? I think you do everything possible to kind of cloud with certain zone reads or zone blitzes, but really roll that coverage towards Michael Thomas. Try to get him out the game. Make Emmanuel Sanders and some of these other guys beat you. And maybe the Falcons do have that in the game plan, and they just don't feel they have the personnel. But up front, Dante Fowler Jr., Marlon Davidson, guys like that need to step up. Grady Jarrett. Guys need to get after the quarterback. They need to make Taysom Hill uncomfortable. They need to hit him, not necessarily get sacks, but they're going to need to hit him if they're going to win the game. I'm Jansen Harris with the Just Good Network. Listen to the Final Play weekly sports podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Like, comment, subscribe below. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well.